Hello, Army Wife Network. This is Amber Peterson, your social media coordinator. I have been kind of MIA recently because we did just PCS back from South Korea, and then my husband was transitioning back into civilian life, and now he is transitioning back into Army life, waiting to go to warrant officer school. So been a little crazy in the Peterson household, but it is starting to calm down, and so I am excited to start getting my face and unfortunately my voice back onto the Army Wife Network page. If you're like me, if you hear your voice, you kind of want to cut your ears off. So hopefully we can get through this without me wanting to log out. So today I am here to talk to you guys a little bit about how Army Wife Network's pillars have impacted me and why I think that they're so important to the military community. Before I jump into that, a little background on myself. I was born and raised in southeast Kansas, a very small community with no stoplights in the town, very close-knit. Shout out to Colony, Kansas. And so then I went to college at K-State. And when I was going to college at K-State, I met my husband. He was stationed at Fort Riley. And we have been married for 3 years now. And we have a 2-year-old daughter, Serenity. She was born in South Korea. And I hope one day that she can go back and see South Korea and what we experienced with her the first 19 years of her life. We are currently in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and like I said earlier, waiting to go to warrant officer school, so eventually we're going to be in Alabama. So that's just a little bit about me. I see Sharita said something about our shirts. We have our awesome Army Wife Network shirts. I love it, and I'm very thankful for the shirt to be able to represent Army Wife Network. For some people who may not have ever seen or haven't realized what some of the words that we use on Army Wife Network are, we have 4 pillars, the foundation of which Army Wife Network stands on. And those 4 pillars are engage, educate, encourage, and empower. And they kind of overlap each other, which makes sense because you wouldn't want them to be just specifically by themselves. But with each specific one, they all impact Army Wife and Milspouse life specifically. So to start off with, engage. Why is engagement important in the Army wife or Milspouse community? There's not really a simple answer for that because everyone is going to be different. But why it's so important to me is I had a 9-month stretch where my husband was in Afghanistan. I've had week stretches of him being in the field. And sometimes, it's just me. So after Serenity goes to sleep, I'm just sitting there and I have nothing left to do. And that's where the engagement part comes in. There's so many different things through Army Wife Network that we provide to have engagement on. So every day we have a picture posted. It's either going to be an encouraging quote or a funny meme or possibly even an engagement post where we ask you a question and we want to hear your input. And so in those times where I need something to fill the gap, then Army Wife Network has always been there to provide that for me. whether it's going to Army Wife Network's page specifically, using Control F on the blogs, and finding a blog that is specific to what I'm going through at the time. So I'm lonely. Type in I'm lonely, boom. A whole bunch of blog posts pop up. I read them, I get it, I understand it's not just me. You know, other people have been in the same situation. These are some things that they've done to get through it, and it's going to be okay. And so when you engage with each other through, you know, hey, what's your favorite PCS tip on our page? And then, you know, we have Milspouses commenting. When you come time to PCS, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, I saw that Sharita had commented that her favorite PCS is this. And I saw that Carolyn had commented this. And so then it'll make things smoother for you. And it just kind of sticks in your brain for that. I had mentioned earlier that I went to college at K-State. And while I was there, my major was education. And so I feel like that's why my favorite pillar for Army Wife Network is going to be educate. And my favorite quote from my time in education would be, if we don't teach history, then it repeats itself. And so with educating other Milspouses about things that we've gone through specifically or that we know may happen, then it's going to make their life easier. So we have our post with the most blog post. And so if you know that you're going to be moving somewhere and you know nothing about the area, we have a whole file of different blogs about different posts. So say you're coming to Fort Riley and you're like, well, what's even in the area? What kind of schools do they have available, etc. It's all in there. And then again with the PCS tips, you know, if we can make your transition smoother, then we definitely want to do that. But in order to do that, we also need engagement. That's where they overlap. So us as the command team, we have to engage you to give you the tips, but we also need your engagement back to help us educate other Milspouses. And so that's another really cool aspect of Army Wife Network, is that we are coming together to encourage each other, which just so happens to be our third pillar, encouragement. So when we think of encouragement, it's support, it's having each other's back. And another reason why that's so important is because if you look at your spouse page for your area, people might just say, oh, hey, it's full of drama, like I'm not interested in it. So they don't get involved with it. They don't have it on their page. So then they might not have a way to communicate with other Milspouses or Army spouses. So for Army Wife Network, we are all about encouragement. We want to make sure that other military spouses, other Army wife spouses, other Army moms, other Army dads, any military affiliated person knows that they can come to our page, they can come to any of our social media, and they're going to find encouraging information, encouraging posts. Because with so much going on in the world right now, just to have that little spark of encouragement, that little, hey girl, hey guy, we see you out there, we see what you're going through, we support you, we have your back. Don't give up, we're going to get through this. And that kind of overlaps with our empowerment. We are encouraging you to empower you, our final pillar. We want to empower you, empower to give someone strength, to give someone authority or power. We want to give you the authority or the power to get through whatever you're going through. To know that, hey, we might be having a hard time right now. My friend Liz, she's pregnant. Her husband is about to deploy or go on a rotation, and it's going to be tough. She's going to have 3 kids at home, and her husband is going to be gone. But I'm going to empower her every day. I'm going to make sure that she knows that this too will come to an end. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be hard. Every single day is going to be hard. But when those boots hit the floor and those bags come off of the back and that body is there to hug and those lips are there to kiss, it's going to be worth it to get through every single day. And so being sure that we are empowering each other. Hey, the stop movement is hard. I know that you are going through it right now. I'm going to be praying for you. I'm going to be thinking about you. Message me about anything. That's who we are at Army Wife Network. And so when you see us sharing the things, when you see us sharing those quotes that are like, hey, you got this today, don't ever give up, that is us just giving you a gentle reminder. Army Wife Network is here. If you need us, come to us. Engage with us. We will engage back. We're real people. We're here too. We've been through it. If we haven't been through it, we know somebody else who's been through it, and we will give you their information. We are here to engage, educate, encourage, and empower each other. And that is why Army Wife Network will always hold a special part in my heart. And it will always be so important to me. And any military affiliated person that I come in contact with, I always tell them, hey, have you joined Army Wife Network's Facebook page? We have Facebook, we have Twitter, we have Instagram, we're even on Pinterest. And we have our webpage. It's just Army Wife Network. So we have a lot of information in there. We're here for you. Army Wife Network is always going to be important to me, and I hope that it's going to be important to all of you as well. And I look forward to seeing everyone's engagement, empowering comments, encouragement, and educating each other in a fun and respectful way. And so thank you so much, you guys, for watching my live today from my car after dropping my daughter off at daycare on my way to work. You are all amazing. We're all going to get through whatever we're going through. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and we've got your back.